Okay, good morning, class. We are on to mathematics for grade 11, and today we'll kickstart more like a transition into grade 12 work, circle geometry, and that's found in your textbook, page 124, chapter 12, circle geometry 2, tangents. But we'll look at the revision exercises because they would help us to transit from what you should have known to what I want to focus on now. All right, so we'll start off. Let's look at exercise 12A, question number 1. So we're going to be drawing a lot, and this is a topic that we really test your drawing. So please, I want you to draw a lot in this topic. That's question 1A. And this is a diagram. You have this. You have this. You have this. So this is M. This is 146 degrees. This is L. This is K. So we are told to find 146 degrees. We are told to find M, L, and K. Now, from this diagram, look at this diagram. K, 2K will be equal to 146. What is the reason? Angle at center equal 2 times angle at what? Circumference. Angle at center equal 2 times angle at that's circumference. So this will mean that K will be 146 divided by 2, and that is 73 degrees. Is that clear? Now, how do we get now K plus M will be equal to 180 degrees. K plus M will be equal to 180 degrees. What is the reason for that? Opposite angles of cyclic quad. Please take note of these things I'm writing, because these are where your marks lies. Your mark will lie in your ability to do what? Note this reasoning. All right, so K plus M. This is a cyclic quad. So with that said, 73 plus M will be equal to 180, and M will be equal to 180 minus 73 degrees. So that will be equal to what? 107 degrees. Are we together? All right, that is settled. The next thing we want to do now is try to get L. Now, L is equal to 2M. What's the reason? Angle at, please, I should have written it this way, but because of the nature of my board, angle at center equal to 2 times angle at circum. So what is M? M is 73. So L will be equal to 2 times 73, and that is what? 146 degrees. So with that, we are done with question 1A. So let's try and answer on question 1B. In question 1B, you have this. See what you have in 1B. We'll be careful with drawing that. Open right on that. Right, so that will be R. That will be 28. That will be P. That will be Q. And the whole of this will be what? 80 Now, how well you do here will depend on what you know about your this. That's why it's a revision. 28 is equal to 83 degrees. What is the reason? Exterior angle that the opposite interior is equal to the exterior. So that's the rule I'm applying here. And that's why you need to rewatch this video very, very well. So that will give me R equal to 83 minus what? 28. And that will give me 57, is that? Or 55. 55 degrees. So let's check that. Right. Okay, I think that's taken care of. I noticed there was a kind of flare at one corner of the board. All right, so that takes care of that. So with that said, we have gotten arrow. Now look at it. So Q is equal to arrow. Q is equal to arrow. What's the reason? Same segment. What is the same segment? The same segment is this segment here. The segment formed by this segment here is what is forming this and this. All right. So that will now be Q. What is R? R is 55. So with that said, what is P? P is equal to 28 degrees. How? Same segment again. What segment is concerned with arrow and P and 28 rather? Look at it. Are you seeing that? Okay, so that will be what? Same segment. Right, so that's for C. So let's go to, for B, let's go to C. It's passing through the center. (63) center U and V, right? So that's for question C. How do you handle that? So for 1C now, continuation from here. Now, look at this very well. U will be equal to 90 degrees. U will be equal to 90 degrees. What's the reason? Semicircle. One of the laws your teacher has already taught you is that the angle formed here when you have a diameter is 90 degrees. It's borrowed from the principle that angle at the center is equal to 2 times the angle at the circumference. 90 times 2 will give you what? 180 degrees here. All right, so that settles that. So let's continue. So we're done with that. So with that said, look at that triangle. So we have that U plus V plus 63 will be equal to 180 degrees. So that's what? Angle sum. This symbol for angle sum of triangle. Some people don't use, I use symbols a lot because this is what I'm doing right now is very, very correct. Okay, so what is U? U is 90, so that will be 90 plus V plus 63 equal to 180 degrees, meaning that V plus 153 will be equal to 180 degrees. and V will be equal to 180 minus 53 degrees. What does that give you? 27 degrees. So that answer will be what? 27 degrees. Are we seeing that? So that takes care of C. Now let's go to D. In question D, this is the diagram we have. Right, 102 degrees. Exterior angle here 81. This is Z, this is X, and this is Y. So we're required to find all the missing angles. It's quite simple. I'll start with, I can start in any order. Now, Y plus 81 is equal to 180 degrees. What's the reason? Angles on a straight, please take note of the way the symbols are written, straight line. Angles on a straight line. You can write it in full if you want to. So Y will now be equal to 180 minus 81, and that will be 99, I think. Please always confirm if the addition and subtractions I'm doing there in order. E, is that E? Why am I saying E? So that's for the first one. Now, X plus 102 degrees is equal to 180. What's the reason for that? Interior, why am I forgetting what I'm supposed to do now? Opposite angles of cyclic quad. Although some books will just tell you cyclic quad. Once you say cyclic quad, any examiner knows what you're talking about. So that will be X equal to 180 minus 102, and that will be 78 degrees, sorry. So that will be 78 degrees. Is that clear? All right, so that takes care of that. So we have one more to go. We have one more to go. That is, we've done Y, we've done X. Not for Z. Z will be equal to 81 degrees. Exterior angle of what? Cyclic quad. That's the reason. For a cyclic quad, we know that this angle must be equal to this angle because this and this will give me 180. So this will definitely be equal to that. So from there, we have settled that. So we've gotten all our angles intact. Okay, so I'm done with A to all right, so question 2 will be an assignment for you to do. Question 2 will be an assignment for you to do. I want to see what you can do before I solve it. It's if you can crack question 2, yeah, I can say truly you have a sound understanding of this topic. So I'll leave question 2 for you to do, and I'll go to question 3 and continue from there. In question 3, we have a very interesting diagram here. It says if we got 12.8, let's draw that first. It's a semicircle. Center O, Z, X, and Y. This will be 42 degrees. That will be 42 degrees. So I'll read the question. It said in figure 12.8, OXY is a semicircle. OXYZ, rather, is a semicircle. If angle YOZ is what? 42. Calculate angle OYZ. OYZ. That means the angle at Y. For me, I always prefer to use small letters. I'll just call that one A. It's my method. It's my method. So I'll just say using notations as in diagram. Once you have told the examiner this, the examiner has no right to fail you because you've told the examiner how you want to flow. So it is his responsibility to look out in the question for your notations. Now, look at this carefully. Watch carefully now. Now, from this diagram, this is equal to this. I hope you know. This is radius, this is radius. So OZ is equal to OY. Reason, radii. That's the reason for that. So what you have now is an isosceles triangle. Now, look at this. X, Y, angle XYZ is equal to 90 degrees. What's the reason? Semicircle. I see that this is a semicircle. So it means that this angle here will be 90 minus A. And this angle here will also be what? 90 minus Y. Because triangle OYZ is isosceles. It's isosceles. Triangle OYZ is isosceles. This is an isosceles triangle. So from there, I will have that 42 plus 90 minus A plus. Trying to say there's an easy way out for me. Oh, can you imagine? There's even an easier way for me out. Let's go in that direction. Or do I still go with this? Okay, let's finish this one. I'll still show you the other way out. Because I'll be like this also equal to this. Let's finish with this one. 90 minus A equal to 180. Meaning that 42 minus A will be equal, minus 2A will be equal to what? 0. 2A will be equal to 42 and A will be equal to 21. Now, you can also solve in another way too. Look at this. So method 2. And that's the reason why when we solve problems, I usually allow you to be free with yourself. Because in the exam hall, the method you may remember may not be the method that I have taught you. So discretion comes into play here. Look at this now. Another student might see this. I've called this A. I hope that this is also A. Triangle OXY is what? Isosceles. Y. OX is equal to OY. Reason. Radii. Radii. This radii is equal to this radii. Or this radius is equal to this radius. So they are both what? Equal. So from this, A plus A will be equal to 42. What's the reason? Exterior angle of triangle. Remember we said that the opposite interior is equal to the exterior. So 2A will be equal to 42 and A will be equal to 21 degrees. So that settles that A will be what? 21 degrees. So you see, whichever method you use, you will still arrive at the same conclusion. Exactly.